Good evening to you all and a warm welcome to the Isle of Man for the last match on day 2 of the Netball Europe Open Challenge 2019 here at the National Sports Centre. We have seen some amazing netball from all 6 competing teams today. Hosts Isle of Man, Gibraltar, Republic of Ireland, Emirates, Israel and the Cayman Islands, along with the UK Armed Forces. Tonight we bring you match 12 from 21, and what a great dozen it has been so far. I hope you've been able to enjoy the game so far today. Tonight we bring you what is bound to be a fantastic match between hosts Isle of Man and the Cayman Islands. I'm Lynn Carpenter and I'm delighted to be joined for this game by Nat Pepperell. Nat, last game of 6 today, really crucial one. How do you think it's going to go?
You know what, I cannot call this game, but I am super excited about it. The Cayman Islands came out in force today and really showed that they were here to play. Much improved side from the day before, and the Isle of Man have been outstanding in both their games, narrowly losing out today to the UK Armed Forces, so it could be anyone's game.
Well, we will be bringing you every minute of this game very shortly, and as you can see, the teams are lining up and being ready to be welcomed to the court. So let me bring you the starting 7 for each of the two sides. For the Isle of Man, we have goal shooter Gail, goal attack Ashley Hall, their captain, wing attack Ryder Clegg, centre Johnston, wing defence Shaw, goal defence Dorner and Keeling in at goalkeeper. The coach for Isle of Man is Claire Batty. And now let's bring you the starting 7 for the Cayman Islands. In at goal shooter is Copeland, Wilson goal attack, Correas at wing attack, Gal in at centre, wing defence Logan, goal defence Lynch and goalkeeper Lewis. Their coach is Lynette Montieth. And our umpires for today, Chris Obin and Nadine Zamet, with the reserve Leonard Massou. So, great lineup for both these sides. Obviously, have done a bit of research looking at the starting 7s. A few changes in there, Nat?
Absolutely, and you know, one thing that I'm pleased about is seeing Ashley Hall back on that starting 7. She didn't play in the game against the UK Armed Forces today, but she was really good in the games yesterday, and it's going to be really exciting seeing her match up against Nikki Lynch. We saw Nikki and Nikisha playing in the first game, and they were outstanding as a duo.
So we've got the height of Lynch and Lewis against the movement and rotation of Gale and Hall in the two opposing centres. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see whether they go for that rotation or whether they go for a holding shooter position from Gale.
So a great tip there by Lewis.
Just a footwork call there. Means that Isle of Man are back in possession. Needs to be a bit more clinical on their passing accuracy. Oh, unlucky there for Ashley Hall. But a great rebound by Nikki Lynch.
So thoughts on why Hall didn't perhaps take to the court in the last game?
I don't know. I'm not sure that she twinged something in the first day, and it could have been that. We see she's got those long compression socks on. It could be injury related, or it could just be the fact that they were resting her for this game, trying out different combinations. I mean, the goal attack that was on in the first game did a good job. Maybe she started and she earned her place. I just think that they probably need the speed of Ashley in this game to match up against the two defenders. Good backup on the line there, and uncontested backup. Unlucky. Gail needs to make sure she gets 2 hands on all of those balls because they'll punish her if she doesn't.
So proving challenging in there, as we thought it might be against Lynch and Lewis.
Yeah, we said in the previous game, you can't, if you miss the goals, those two are going to get the rebounds. You've got to either box them out or you've got to sink your shot. Obstruction call. The umpire's making people understand the distance, and we see Catherine Gow there with the ball. She was fundamental in their previous game.
And the ball going easily into Copeland there into the post.
Yeah, Copeland's a fantastic player. I'll be interested to see what the Isle of Man do to try and combat her. We saw in the previous game she can hold, she can play long ball, she can pop. She's very talented.
So Wilson from distance doesn't quite land it. I think she twisted her foot slightly.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, when shooters have had a whack or a knock or a twist, kind of expect them to maybe pass the ball off.
Just to give themselves 2 minutes to resettle, balance.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's not an easy skill.
So they'll get another opportunity.
Just short. She's choosing to give that third shot to Ashley Hall, who also shoots short.
Can't say that too quickly, can you?
No.
So over a third for the Isle of Man. Bit scrappy to start with here, isn't it?
It is a bit scrappy, and that long ball didn't need to go. And what we saw from the Cayman Islands actually was a lot more structure in the last game that they played, so I'm hoping that they keep that and they don't go back to how we saw them on the first day. There we go.
So that gets Isle of Man away and running in this game, 1-1.
It's quite low scoring for 4 minutes in, but testament to the start of the game, you know, get a bit of nerves at the beginning.
Gail did well to hold that against the challenge from Lewis. And actually, if they just take a bit of time, patience, bring it to the edge, that's what's going to be effective today.
Yeah, absolutely. Opting for the back centre pass. See if we see that step shot from Kay Copeland.
We saw the step in, but just a little bit of misunderstanding there, I think, between the goal shooter and goal attack.
Nice strong drive there by Lydia Shaw.
Oh, just completely unsighted on Gal coming through there. But credit there to Ashley Hall.
Just a little bit frantic towards the end. They can play fast through the court, but at some point in time they're going to have to take the pace off just to make sure that it's accurate going in and that their shooters aren't getting the ball under pressure. But a nice shot there by Chloe Gale.
So 3-1, 10 minutes left in this first quarter. Quite a lot of ball on the body there. Maybe need to try something a little bit different.
Chloe Gale matching Nikki and Nikisha at the moment on those rebounds. It's a good start for the hosts, certainly geared on by the crowd.
Ball coming down quite easily for them at the moment. No pressure on that second phase defence.
Just need to make sure that they can sink their shots, and that's... There we go. That one's in. She's found a range. Oh, Nikki. But that was quite a good hustle there from Tashelle. Logan. Oh. Just a little clash of legs, but Ashley Hall gets the ball.
Better right, Hall.
Shows maturity to be able to play on.
Great pressure on Cayman Island centre part as well by Isle of Man.
Yeah, we saw Lydia Shaw in the first day doing a really good job in that wing defence position. She's really good at running hard. Cayman Islands will have to make sure they change direction to lose her at the centre pass. The straight line run won't do it. She's got a really good closing speed. Great shot.
6-2 now. Nat, 8 minutes left, halfway through this first quarter.
And I think, you know, good start by Isle of Man, and actually We saw yesterday when the Cayman Islands were under pressure, they got rattled a bit. So hopefully by pushing out a good start for Isle of Man, they'll pull it back, and Cayman Islands just need to make sure they keep the head. We've seen they've got masses of shooting power, so they can easily turn a score.
I think we saw a little bit yesterday when they have tired legs, the discipline in their play just drops out a little bit and they become a little bit less structured.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is, second game for both teams. So one doesn't have more of an excuse than the other, but it does become a factor. Kay Copeland, outstanding as she has been throughout the tournament, just turns and shoots. Oh, great elevation there by Nikisha Lewis.
So what are they going to do at the dead ball situation? Difficult for them. Great hands again, and Hall reacting quickly.
She's everywhere, isn't she, Ashley Hall? Oh. I think incorrect throw in.
Those are the basics that any coach is not want to see on the court. There you go. There's something about giving yourself a bit of space, stepping off the body.
Yeah, absolutely. And doing that work to get them off you as well. So Chloe did a really good job of pulling hard to the top, which drew the defence, and then dropped back into the backspace. So you have to do the prelim work to get the defender off you before you can then become free.
Oh.
It's an early caution given there on Ashley Hall for an intentional obstruction.
Great to keep their cool in there. You think you just want that last ball just perhaps to be a little bit with that less pace on it, bit more placement, but it worked for them.
It is working at the moment. I just wonder how long it will work. Just that sort of frantic passing in. But, I think if they extend their lead, as they push on, they might get a bit calmer anyway. Great intercept there from Rachel Johnston.
So Isle of Man is leading here 8-3.
Yeah.
And Wilson pulled for 3 seconds, so great defence by the Isle of Man.
Yeah, Viv Storner did a great job there of just covering that shot.
Really good movement on the ball there. Oh, lovely play. We both thought that at the same time.
That was outstanding. That might be my play of the tournament so far. Nice to see the umpires talking to explain what it is and just asking them to tidy up.
Ooh.
Oh, big shout from the crowd.
I think Gail is more solid than there than perhaps people gave her credit for there. It was a knock, but she took it. Don't think it was intentional.
No, absolutely. And it's a big game. They both want to win, and they're both going to go for ball, and you put your body on the line. It's part of being a netball player.
That was a really strong rebound by Wilson. I like the combination of Storner and Keeling in there. It's really making them think, not letting them play their natural flowing game in attack.
It really is. And that's when we said about that last ball going in, that's just an example of where it just needs to calm down going into the circle. It won't work all the time just rushing it. It's great through court pressure and lots of noise on that through court defence as well, which makes the pressure feel even greater. Just holding a 5, looks like a 5 dice zone.
So Copeland opting to reverse pivot again. So pulling a couple back, close the gap now 10-5, their centre pass.
Yeah, and they're dangerous with that shooting power, as we said. And here we see them again mixing it up. Rose Wilson deciding to send the long ball in this time. They've played some short ones, so just mixing up that feed in.
So from 10-3 to 10-6.
Yeah, you can never write them off, can you? I mean, I think we're going to see a lot throughout this game of swings and roundabouts, and it's just going to be keeping that. I mean, look at that dedication.
It was given as footwork. She doesn't have control of the ball. Isle of Man are not going to win this game necessarily by just speeding the ball through, rushing it. It's all about ball placement, taking their time, make the opposition commit.
Yeah, offensive contact there. And that will be over a third, so back to Isle of Man ball. And Cayman Islands as well, when they get that turnover, they just need to work it through steady. If there's that zone in the middle third, they just need to play through it, give and go, drive through it, play front ball. Nice ball.
That was a lovely reverse pivot there.
That's a much better feed from Jane Ryder into Ashley Hall. Shouldn't need to fire that one at her, so nice and calm.
So the score here with just over a minute and a half to go in this game. 11 goals to the Isle of Man and 6 to Cayman Islands at this moment in time.
Yeah, really good defence there by Rose Wilson. Ran on the front, forced that ball to go off the sideline. And see, that's just a silly error, isn't it? I mean, Alex Carreras had 2 players on her. She hadn't lost the first one. The second one was dropping back. If there's nothing else there, just send it laterally, give and go. You don't have a defender in front of you, you gain the space.
It's almost as if both teams aren't really seeing the defender around the ball receiver. And Cayman Islands pull yet another one back, just under a minute now, 11-7. Plenty of time if they pace it.
There's a real good tussle going on there between Chloe Gale and Nikisha Lewis. It's going to be an exciting one to watch out. 30 seconds left on the clock. Still a really long time to get the ball through. They don't need to rush. Yeah, fair play, Lydia Shaw. And that's the force ball. You know, 13 seconds is a really long time. Play it to the edge. Play it in smart.
2 opportunities lost there by the Isle of Man. They're going to get a third, but the clock might just defeat them here. And it does. So as the teams take to the bench in this last game of the day on day 2 of the Netball Europe Open Challenge event, we see our hosts Isle of Man on 11 and Cayman Islands on 7. I think a bit of a scrappy start, really a little bit of over pace on the ball from both sides, not really settled into the match.
Yeah, is a little bit scrappy. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's moments of absolute brilliance in there, and there's been some fantastic defence work as well, which is causing some of the scrappiness. I'd like to see Isle of Man, as we've alluded to before, just making sure that they mix up the pace of the ball. Yes, send that first, second ball through the court. It's great when that first time release is on, but at some point in time, you're going to have to change the pace. You can't play everything at 100 miles an hour, because then everyone is on extension and off balance, and you end up putting your shooters under masses of pressure if you get it in. And then ultimately for the Cayman Islands, they're getting turnover. We've seen them come back into this game. It was starting to look like a bit of a blowout early on, but they've come back in. But just through the court, if there's nothing on in front, just play the safe ball, give and go, let your defenders drive the ball through, because that 5 dice zone, you know, it might look scary from the back, but it's not if you run through it. You have to go through a zone.
And it's interesting because the style of play for Isle of Man is very similar to Emirates, who Cayman Islands played earlier on today. They took that game 52-34, so really convincing, played extremely well in that. And there's pockets of what we saw there in the game today, but it's not quite as consistency.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also Isle of Man defence has been really strong for this quarter. I think that Storner and Keeling together are putting a lot of pressure on that shooting circle. So absolute credit to them for what they're doing, and the work of Lydia Shaw. Saw Lydia Shaw in the first day and was really impressed by her. She's a bit like the silent assassin, you know. She runs hard on ball, but she's pretty much everywhere, and you don't see her coming.
And of course you can see some of the highlights from this first quarter now, seeing some of the points that you've made there, Nat. Some of the great balls in, the strength of the shooters, Copeland and Wilson for the Cayman Islands. Yet Storner and Keeling really working well in there. We saw Keeling up in the other end for the Isle of Man and the shooting circle. So it's not quite an unusual combination, is it, to see a shooter go down to keeper?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you sometimes do see. I'm not a massive fan of it because I think you need to be able to focus on one job. And although it's both circle work, I think they're quite different roles. But she's proving that she's doing a really good job in keeper. So, you know what? Keep going.
We've had a huge number of competitive games already today. So we started at 9 o'clock this morning. We saw Ireland beat Israel 64-24. We just mentioned about the Emirates Cayman Islands game. UK Armed Forces playing extremely well this weekend. Took their third win 40-33. So they are now our only undefeated team this weekend so far.
Yeah, and I think they've improved as well. We were speaking to Fern Davis and Nordia Masters earlier, and they've not been together that long because they're from the Royal Navy and the Army, and you can see them gelling more as the weekend progresses. And it's interesting, isn't it? You would have wanted to play them on the first day because I think they're just getting stronger and stronger. And in fairness, I thought the Isle of Man played really well against them, but it was the UK Armed Forces that were actually just excelled.
That's quite interesting. If you go to our Twitter or Facebook feeds, and you'll see the interview that was done with Nordia Masters after the game. We talked about how they managed to keep their composure with all the pressure from the Isle of Man. And she made the comment, well, some of the players here are bomb disposal experts, etc. So they're used to pressure in their everyday life, and they just take netball as a way of relaxing with all the what they do normally.
Netball pressure is nothing compared to that, I don't think.
Some would argue it might be.
But no, I'm with Nordia on this. I'd much rather be on the court.
So here we go. Great defence there by Isle of Man. But Copeland scores again, 11-8. Only 3 goals in it.
Oh, nice roll. Good roll there by Ashley Hall to get closer to the post. But as we've seen on many occasions, Nikisha Lewis strong on that rebound. And that interchange again there between Alexis Carrera and Catherine Gow. But Isle of Man come out with the turnover.
Yeah, great defending by Keeling in there. Just a bit too much on the ball placement.
Either give it on the first second or wait for the third. That was a 2-second ball. She went to give it, decided against it, and then gave it. By that point in time, it was gone.
Good hands by Chloe Gale. So again, reading the ball really well there, Nikki Lynch.
Good shot. Solid
By Hall. So it's still a really tight game here, 12-8.
Yeah, Lydia's got to get herself on the inside of the player.
Oh, well recovered by Wilson.
Yeah, that calmness as well from Catherine Gow. Nice shot.
So it's keeping the pressure on here, both teams. That's 3 goals in the game.
Nice second phase there by Jane Ryder. Bit of a collision in the circle though, gives Chloe Gale the ball. Nope, she's given it to Ashley.
That's sometimes sensible, isn't it? You have a bit of a knock, give yourself a couple of minutes just to recover.
Yeah, and I think we saw in the first quarter Chloe Gale was getting up really well for those rebounds, so it's also quite a good tactic if you've got one player that's particularly good at rebounding to have them under the post just in case.
So hopefully you are with us this evening. It's Friday evening. There's no excuses now like work. Hopefully you're enjoying the live streaming here from Douglas, the National Sports Centre on the Isle of Man. Remember, you can give us a mention, hashtag NE Open. Let us know what you think of the game, Isle of Man, where you are in the world. We had some people earlier from Cambodia, South Africa, North Wales, Botswana, yeah, all over. Amazing what reach we're achieving.
Nice ball, good front position there by Kay Copeland. And a lovely shot to finish it off. Pulls them back within 3. Ooh. They convert this one, they'll go back within 2. Nikki Lynch will just take her time to bring the ball back up.
Making sure she sets where the umpire's telling her.
Catherine Gow opting to go backwards.
Oh, it's a great challenge there by Johnston.
Yeah, and just a miscommunication there between Catherine Gow and Alexis Carias results in an Isle of Man possession.
Get over that there.
Oh, that's a nice ball. Great
like
pass.
that one. 14-10.
Yeah, that
Isle
was
of Man leads. That's exactly what we were talking about. The right ball at the right pace at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. A pinpoint accurate pass as well. Shows really good confidence in your team.
Copeland down at the other end. Keeping them within 3. Just needs to settle now.
Yeah, Nikisha Lewis just needs to, I mean, she's a fantastic player. She just needs to be careful not to get pinged too much because she doesn't want to be out of the game. You know, she's so effective. You need to be playing 7v7.
So 4 in it. 5 minutes gone now. Heading towards half time.
Yeah, not really many other options there for Catherine Gow. Everyone was all together.
Lovely play by Ashley Hall.
That could prove vital for the Cayman Islands. You know, it helps extend the lead now.
And on their centre pass.
Yeah. Good footwork call. It's a gift. There's that 5 dice zone again from the Cayman, from the Isle of Man. That's much better play through that.
If they're going to put that on, all players need to be doing it, not playing. There's a bit of man-to-man going on at the back of the diamond there, which actually won't drive out the overhead and interception.
Yeah, absolutely. And whenever you put a zone on as well, you have to have the capacity to run on the ball. So your eyes have to be really on the ball carrier and where that's going, rather than getting fixated on a player.
So 4 in it. Copeland.
So she
Our
was
favourite reverse pivot. Well, she didn't need to do it that way around. No. So it's obviously a preference for the way she likes to move. Replaying. Oh. Unfortunate, it wasn't really necessary. And again, just a little bit sloppy by Isle of Man.
Good hustle in that circuit. It's good to see them pushing for it.
And there we are. Score now back to 3. 16 against 13. It's really going to come down to which of the teams get that few on the board that gives them a little bit more confidence and space.
Yeah, and the coaches must be getting quite frustrated because, you know, Isle of Man turn over their centre and then give their centre away, and the flip side is Cayman Islands turn over their centre and then give theirs away. You just want them to look after their own. Nice give and go through the court there.
Oh, that was just never on, was it?
Yeah, and the placement wasn't great either. Oh,
Keeling sweeping up at the back. Now, where is... Well, that was almost too late there, wasn't it? It was on and it wasn't.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? If the front ball is on...
Give it.
Yeah.
Just give it.
I know we've talked about timing, and that's still really important, but a really easy front ball can just go in. Nice offload as she was off balance.
So that's an important one. 17-13. 7 minutes left. Umpires making sure the game's reset. So they're looking for that interception, aren't they? They're putting on the zone.
Yeah.
And there it is.
And the Cayman Islands have to be really careful there, because Alex Corrales at the wing attack position comes quite deep, and Catherine Gow has been then playing down towards her goal to do that interchange. But at that point in time they were both in the middle third, and that just congests it, and then when one of them gets the ball they look down, there's no options.
Someone's got to take the front ball there.
Yeah, clever decision by Rachel Johnston and Jane Ryder to just swing it and open it up.
So 18 now plays 13. Shame.
Yeah, right ball, just handling error there. And again, this is the point in time where we've seen them do the hard work to turn over the opposition centre pass and then just give theirs away. Ooh. Better.
Copeland's so strong on that front ball.
She really is.
Keeling's having a great game at goalkeeper for the Isle of Man.
See, they don't need to give that. She didn't have the goal defender with her at the time. Lay it off, play
One on
yourself
one.
in.
Yep, play herself in.
And all Chloe Gale has to do is just pull back a little bit and give her that space to drive in. And I'm sure that's something that the coaches will talk to them about anyway at half time. Nice front cut there by Catherine Gow. Good of the umpires to play the advantage at that point.
So Wilson pulls one back. Still only a 4-goal game. No one's really driven that much behind a gap of 5. And there we go, he lost another centre pass.
Yeah.
If you look at the stats, I think pretty much most of this quarter has gone against the centre pass.
Yeah, absolutely. And they'll work it out. One team will, and one team will win. It's that simple, isn't it? Like after you're in possession.
Score off your centre passes and you'll win.
Yeah, just rolled out. And there we see Alex Corrales coming really high.
And that's the way to try and break the zone, bring the ball in, pump it down, but it was just too much, too far.
Yeah, that's in it again. There was no one ahead of the ball to give the ball to, because they'd all come down to help out in the middle third. Superhero syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. We all felt that, didn't we?
I wasn't sure whether it was going to blow out. I think
slight hesitation.
No, yeah, but very
wasn't going to get past James.
Chris,
sorry.
He was very, very experienced and intelligent umpire.
Do you know, with my glasses on, he looks like James. Apologies, James and Chris. Well, each of you might think it's a compliment. I'm not sure.
Nice ball.
So,
and
important one.
Yeah, and that ball's the difference. You see, there was options then, but that ball was on, and so it was given rather than it being a last-ditch attempt. Really good angle on the hold by Kay Copeland. Beautiful quick second phase to the top of the circle. Nice, really good centre pass there by the Isle of Man.
So with less than 3 minutes to go in the second quarter here, the Isle of Man's leading 19-15.
A good change.
Great ball in.
Yeah, and good change of direction by Alex Carias at the centre pass as well.
So back to 3, Isle of Man centre pass. Now here's the time, 2 minutes to go. You want to look after the ball.
Yes.
And score off your centre pass. Good shooting position, felt she was in, perhaps didn't need that one.
Yeah. I don't think it was on either, it's 2-on-1. It's just that recognition, isn't it, of what is and what isn't an option. Yeah.
Unlucky. So a great play by Lewis and Lynch at the back again.
Oh.
So Hall putting it down nice and calmly as captain. Well, she doesn't have to let it back on the court.
Nice.
So as this game gets more and more interesting, 4 in it, 20-16, Isle of Man lead. We've only got a minute and a half left until half time.
Anything can happen in that time.
And that was a great little pop
Shot.
to Wilson from Copeland. Nice roll of the ball. Let the ball do the work.
Yeah, much better there from Chloe Gale in the circle.
So less than a minute. Let's see what Cayman Islands are going to do.
Oh. Yeah, rushed, incorrect throw in.
So is the umpire going to hold time? Nope.
It's quite a long time, 30 seconds. The Isle of Man need to just take stock. They've got a reason. Yeah, good decision, Rachel Johnston. Don't. That one, not so much.
It's the consistency, isn't it? Some brilliant play, and then it's almost as if somebody's turned the lights out.
Yeah, and again, I think as well, some of them, it's a training thing, isn't it, to learn the time on the clock.
So Copeland takes that beautifully. They've got time, giving away a penalty.
Oh, goodness.
So, she's called it taken. That's interesting. Yeah. So, as a result of that decision, Isle of Man take to the bench at half-time, 21 goals against Cayman Islands 17.
Yeah, so 10-all that quarter.
It felt close, didn't it? Much more competitive in some ways by both.
Yeah, absolutely. Just those errors, you know, that both of them making turnover, converting on opposition centre pass, and then doing something just a little bit silly on theirs. And I mean, some of them are quite new to international netball. There's some new fresh caps out there for both sides. And it just needs someone to take control and say, you know what, once we've done the hard work and got that intercept, we just need to then play a really simple centre pass to goal, the one that we're used to. And some teams pick a favourite. They have a favourite that works really well. For Isle of Man, it would probably be Ashley Hall getting that first centre pass, playing Jane Ryder to the top and then just popping it in, just playing that simple centre pass after you turn over goal. And the same for the Cayman Islands, you know, they're getting turnover and then just giving it away with a silly error.
But if you look at the number of times both of these teams have played international netball and the caps that they have, I think probably on both sides of the court, when you add all the 14 players, there's probably just about under 30 caps out there at any one time. So they're all quite inexperienced. Yep. You run that against what we're seeing, which is some really good quality netball, and imagine what both teams are going to be able to do with that little bit more experience, a few more games under the belt, those pressure situations.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are like two of the top teams, I'd say, from having seen them play. Cayman Islands, if you scrapped off the first day, because I don't think they turned up the first day, if you just looked at today for them and then you look at the form of the Isle of Man, these are two teams that I would be saying would be fighting for that top spot. Obviously Cayman Islands lost it a bit in the first day, so overall they're not, but now I wouldn't want to play him now. If you had to play him in the first day.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone having to face them now is looking at that team going, you know what, they're a quality side.
And as we can see from the replays that we're just bringing you into the screen, all sorts of good quality play out there, some real intelligent approaches. There's some real strength in some of the players on the court, bearing in mind they're not experienced internationally, and I don't just mean physically, but that emotional strength, that psychological strength out there. So when things are getting a bit tough, they're sticking in there, trying to keep with the game plan.
Yeah, and it's a tough call now for the coaches as well. I mean, you've got players that are performing, and the errors aren't sort of necessarily consistent errors and specific things. So do you make a change? Do you mix it up when it's so close and you know that 10-all quarter for the Cayman Islands, you'd be thinking, oh, you know, we've come back into this. Do we mix it up now? Do we leave it? And if you leave it and it starts to go wrong, well, then you're looking at mixing it up going into the fourth, and it's a really tough decision as a coach now as to what they do.
But 4 goals only between two teams at half time, like you're saying, such a hard call, isn't it?
Yeah. And like 4 goals is absolutely nothing for normal teams. For the shooting prowess that you've got in that circle in the Cayman Islands, it really is nothing. 2 turnovers, that's it. And it could go any way. I still can't call it. I couldn't give you a guess onto who's win. I really do think it could be anyone's game. Whoever's going to remain calm and composed and cut out those silly errors and just think, once they've done a really hard work and once the ball's been going really fast, just to take the pace off and play a little bit cleverer. That's not to say they can't then start to push out when they feel that flow and start to extend a little bit more, but they have to recognise when they're going past that point of flow and it's starting to get a bit too much to rein it back in.
And do you think they're always making that right decision on the court at the right time?
No, I think not necessarily. I think sometimes it's the Isle of Man are rushing to get it into the circle. They're throwing some balls through the court, which is a 2-on-1, and actually it's just a few simple catchphrases. If you see a 2-on-1, it means somebody's free. It could be you. If it's you, give and go. If not, it's someone else. There is somebody else free. And, you know, play yourself in, especially in the circle. If there's a double back on that goal shooter, you don't need to force it over. And then for the Cayman Islands, I'd like to see them having their wing attack or centre playing more towards their post, because at the moment they're having a little party in the middle third, and that party is just creating chaos when they then turn to look, because they've just got their goal attack and goal shooter, and that's it. And the defence of the Isle of Man are too strong for that.
So we will wait and see if there are any changes to bring you at half time. We're playing out now the last game, 6 matches today, 6 yesterday. We have a full weekend of netball to bring you over the next 2 days, so don't forget, tune in tomorrow and Sunday here at the Isle of Man. Tomorrow morning, first off, we see the UK Armed Forces take on Cayman Islands at 9 o'clock. Now that's going to be a cracking game.
Yeah, absolutely. Cayman Islands, again, they're in their second match today. We know that they can get a bit tired, but in their first matches they've been even more on fire, and the UK Armed Forces do not tire at all, ever. I think they could play this 3 times over and still have the same energy. But there'd be some great matchups in there. So yeah, that'll be a fantastic game, an exciting one to watch.
So the 2 invitational teams take to the court first thing tomorrow morning, followed by Isle of Man and Emirates, our 2 newest member countries in the region. A lot of camaraderie between them, but a lot of competition on the court as well.
Yeah, and I think Emirates will be going back and having some real good conversations after today. I don't think they put out performances that they'll be too pleased about. Again, don't get me wrong, there is moments of brilliance. They are young, a lot of them, a lot of new caps, and I don't want to do them a disservice, but actually I'm being more respectful by saying they can play a lot better. So they need to go back and have those conversations, and I'm really hoping that they come back tomorrow having looked at that and gone, yeah, you know what, let's really start to bring it now, and then they'll have a fantastic game, I think, against the Isle of Man.
And of course, if you're joining us over the weekend, our last game on Sunday sees Israel take on the UK Armed Forces at 3 o'clock. Immediately after that match, we will have the presentation here for you, going out live, see the teams and the final results. The winner in the invitational team, which will include the UK Armed Forces and the Cayman Islands, and then the Pure Netball Europe Open competition, which is our 5 member countries, and of course that coveted award that everyone wants to win, which is Player of the Tournament.
Yeah, and this is a really exciting tournament actually, this challenge event, because you can't call it. You literally cannot call, especially the challenge section. UK Armed Forces making a play at the moment for the invitational. They haven't lost yet, but out of the challenge section, I just don't know. Just don't know which way it's going to go, which is super exciting.
One of the great things here in Netball Europe is the competitions are for all our member countries. So we have the challenge section. It is for the teams like Ireland and all the others who are rated lower than 16 in the world. A lot of teams in that kind of world ranking don't get a lot of play, so it's an opportunity for them to really progress and show what they can do.
Yeah, and get those ranking points and play in teams like the Cayman Islands and like the UK Armed Forces. You know, you've got different styles in there, especially the Cayman Island style, so it's fantastic to get that exposure. Nice steady goal from Chloe Gale to get us started. So interestingly, can't see any changes for the Isle of Man team, so coaches have decided to stick with that.
I think the same applies for the Cayman Islands, so both coaches feeling that the teams out there are doing what they're asked to do.
Yeah, and that's, like we said, couldn't call that. Tricky decision. Not a wrong one, not a right one, just a decision, because you don't know what it would have been the other way. Nice calm shot under the post the other side as well, so good to see both converting. Nice and early. Clever play there by Ashley Hall, and that's the cleverness that we wanted, just that front ball play. Good job.
Keeping the gap at 5.
Nice ball. Really good angle there by Kay Copeland. She managed to get Kat Keelan on her back. Well kept in.
So Gail down the other end.
Yeah.
Better, cleaner netball so far this quarter. 24-19.
Good chase down there by Rachel Johnson. Not happy just to tip it, chasing it down as well. Nice. Good use of the time there by Catherine Gow. Good netball so far. Oh, unlucky. She read it, just wasn't completely clean. Nice, good play. And that's much cleverer from the Isle of Man.
So interesting back marking now, putting pressure on Hall that way.
Yeah.
25-20 Nat.
Yeah, still could go any way. It's great ball. She didn't know which way she wanted to go then.
Is that ambidextrous if you can do that, or is there another name for it?
I have no idea. I'd call it good dancing.
Oh. We've got to give a bit more ball space. Oh.
Look at that, Catherine Gower isn't phased at all, is she? She's got to wait for the whistle because the umpire's called time. Just got to wait for time to start again. Yeah, good to centralise that. They were getting a bit tight to that sideline. Interestingly, Isle of Man have decided to drop back on that double on Kay Copeland. I'm not sure that's a choice I would have made, because it really makes use of Rose Wilson to be able to open that court up.
When there's a 1-on-1 in there, they're not afraid now to put the ball up in this quarter, which they weren't doing as freely as previously. And when there's a 2-on-1, Wilson is taking the lead. So they've really rethought their options in the centre shooting circle.
Much more patient there from the Isle of Man as well. So I would imagine they've had that conversation to create stuff rather than force stuff.
So footwork called there. 2 in it now. Oh, that was quite competitive.
Yeah, I think Nadine Zamit is going to deal with that. Yes, she is. Caution. I think that's a very fair umpiring decision there. Oh, that's the error.
Those are the ones they can't afford. And okay, so get it back. Coaches always say, don't you? If you lose it immediately, win the ball back.
Yeah, if this goes in, Jane Ryder needs to go and high-five Chloe Gale and say thank you very much. I owe you one for that. We see Rose Wilson taking a lot of ball through the court. She's just easing the pressure off them to get the ball down. Good pop. I would pull off that double if I was them.
So it's now only 2 in it. We've still got just under 10 minutes to go in this quarter.
Yeah, good umpiring decision there. Tried to go through the players. And again, see, look, that's Rose Wilson. She's there. She's free.
Got too much space. The double backing isn't working unless one of either the wing defence or centre picks up Wilson. It's too much of a free-for-all in the circle now.
Yeah, absolutely. You've basically given her free rein to take the ball, and they were doing so much good work on pressure before that was forcing the Cayman Islands to throw the ball off the back line, and that pressure's been released because they've got a free player.
And the crowd here realise that's happening, trying to lift their team.
Good effort there by Viv Storner, but if you can get one hand to it, you can get two to it. I was saying that with Fern before.
Yep.
So
if I've heard that once from a coach.
Yeah. It's one of those coaching
have
cliches.
Have you any idea how difficult it was to even get my finger to that ball? Well, that might be what you think. You don't actually say it to the coach, do you?
Yeah. Not unless you want to do press-ups. I'm joking. No, I'm not. Caution for persistent obstruction.
Nadine there really making sure she's keeping this game flowing and appropriate.
Yeah.
Oh, unlucky. Oh, what a great rebound.
Much
by Chloe Gale there.
Please of the crowd. Back up by 2.
27-25. Just need to keep it calm. Nice top of the circle. Sometimes you get in the circle, you just want to turn and even if you're not going to shoot, threaten the ball, threaten the post.
Yeah, and we were talking about that in the game before. That's what Emirates were failing to do, was turn in to get the defender off the back.
So now I have the goalkeeper on a warning, and actually she's better than that, isn't she? I think it's just that little persistent contact there, perhaps a little bit sloppy rather than deliberate, I think.
Yeah, and you know what, I really rate Nadine Zamit, and I completely agree with her decision. I agree with you. It's disappointing because actually she is a good player, and I don't want to see her go off the court because I think it's really good contest in there. But the rules are the rules at the end of the day, and you know the umpires have to keep it clean, and that's how the rules have evolved, to keep it clean. So she needs to adjust her play slightly.
So Copeland slots that one in, 28-26. Isle of Man centre pass. Nice swing, rotation on the ball. Oh, unlucky. Great.
Tricky.
So Gail very calm and collected under pressure. This game's going to really matter to both these sides.
It is, yeah, and Catherine Gow was really cross with herself there for that error. Understandably, because now the little errors are going to make a big difference.
And Gail's had a really good tournament so far, hasn't she, for Cayman Islands?
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't often see her make too many errors, actually. Clever play there by Chloe Gale.
Great shot. Lovely take.
Oh, uh-oh. I think that's 2 minutes.
I think she has been warned. There's been significant amount of contact in here. You have to go sit, just in case anyone's unclear. The player will have to go and sit by the umpire chair. She's off for 2 minutes. They can't bring a substitute on. So we'll see whether the Isle of Man can now capitalise on this.
Yeah, I mean, they will do. And it's disappointing because it's almost a game changer now. They've got 2 minutes to fire away as many goals as possible, and chances are they will. And it's a disappointing turn of the game because no one wants to see it happen because it's 6 versus 7. But the umpire's got to do what the umpire's got to do. It's in the rules, and I think Nadine was absolutely correct at that point in time. She couldn't ignore that. She basically wiped the goal sheet around, and she had to send her off. Yeah, difficult.
So Copeland down the other end. 4 goals in it.
Well done, Copeland, for still scoring down that end, because that's what they've got to do, isn't it? Try and score theirs every single time, because if they give the ball away, they're in trouble. Caution against the goal defence.
I think she caught her with her arm as she came round. So Hall and Gale make sure. 5 in it, Cayman Island centre. 2 minutes isn't a huge amount of time for the player to be off, but it could be significant. It's great defending there between goal defence and wing defence.
Yeah, they're really lucky there that that was an obstruction call, because, like I say, they give any ball away now. You've got no defence. You've got no defensive pressure, have you?
Yeah, so if Isle of Man are quicker with the ball, they're going to have an opportunity to bring it down again. 2-on-1 in the circle.
Huge pressure required from the team, nice and early on.
So Cayman Islands know this is going to be tough for them.
Oh, good effort from Nikki Lynch to try and turn that.
Oh, that one sneaks in. So with 4 minutes to go until 3/4 time, 33-27.
They're going to have to change it off and go hunting.
The umpires are indicating a different way. So now clarified, it is Isle of Man centre pass.
That's where Nikki Lynch needs to hunt now rather than sitting back on the goal shooter. She's got to go out and hunt for the ball. She can't sit back because otherwise Ashley Hall's just going to play herself in.
Yeah, and as we can see, Nikisha Lewis is now back on. So the score difference between these two with 3.5 to go until 3/4 time, 6 goals in it.
Yeah, and you know what, I'm quite shocked at this because all of the Cayman Island players are still sat on the bench, and on a warning and having already been sent off, I would now be, as a coach, be getting Nikisha Lewis off the court.
Yep.
Because you can't afford to go back down again for another 2 minutes.
So perhaps this isn't a situation they've come against before, Nat, and that's why they haven't reacted as a coaching bench. Part of international competition is not only for the players, but for the benches and the management and the coaches, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think you are 100% right, because they didn't really know where she was going or where she was going to sit. There was a bit of confusion. The umpires were really good on directing what was happening, but it was quite clear that they were a bit confused about the process. But I'm afraid my point is, the same way as we say, if you play internationally, you have to, make sure you know what's going on and do the hard work. I think it's the same for the coaching team. If you are going to coach internationally.
That's a very lame ball to give away, I think.
Oh, well held. But good for Cayman Islands. They're going to have to work hard to get back in this game. But we've seen them get back in from...
Yeah, it's only 6 goals, isn't it? There's still another full quarter to go after this one. I think it's going to be whether Cayman Islands can deal with the disappointment of what just happened and understand it and play on.
Yeah, and fair play. Just tracking Nikisha Lewis then. She came right off Chloe to try and run in the intercept. A lot cleaner. Good job by Alexis Carrera on the centre pass there. And nice play by Rose.
Yeah, they're just giving us so much space in there. And she says, thanks very much, I'll do a nice little layup. 6 goals, minute and a half to go.
Look, see the space she's given her now. Great job. Great defending.
And she's won the ball.
Yeah, to have been sat off and then she's really adapt well to that. Good job, you.
As you're saying, she's not playing on the body now. She's come off, giving actually herself a bit more space, because she's got the speed and the foot movement to be able to come around clean.
Yeah, you know what we've just said about how much of a nightmare it is for them. It might be the turnaround.
Could be.
Oh, beautiful. I love that elevation from Kay Copeland when she passes it over the top. Great shot.
So 5 in it. Great ball, great take as well. Good pressure by both players. But she's going to have that one. Now, 45 seconds left.
I can't believe they
4 in
back
it.
To 4.
I know.
Every credit. Oh, unlucky.
Good take by Gail. Just playing on. Maybe some facial dram going on in that circle, which actually won't add to the quality of the play.
No, but it wouldn't be netball if we didn't see it at least once. Great shot.
Oh, what great play by Copeland. She's keeping her team in this, isn't she?
She is, absolutely.
So 37, 33.
I think she was unfortunate there. I thought that was a really good outside hand. She must have just caught her on the way up.
Oh, good defending there by both Lynch and Lewis in there, keeping that ball out. So
absolutely.
The team's now taking to their benches for 3/4 time. 37-33. 15 minutes left to go.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that was a quarter and a half.
It's fantastic netball, isn't it? I mean, 10 all second quarter, 16 all third quarter.
So even with their keeper sent off.
Yeah. They pulled it back, didn't they? They went down quite a bit and then just pulled it back. It's phenomenal netball and phenomenal competition and fabulous. If you're a spectator, it's amazing. If you're a coach, it's not so great. It's nerve-wracking. It's great to watch. I'm really excited now for this last quarter because, again, could still go anyway. I think maybe if Nikisha stays on, having that footwork now to come off and go around, she could well do a lot better. And I'd be really interested now to see what the Isle of Man do with their bench. Do they play anyone else on, or do they leave it as is?
So you can see some of the highlights from that last quarter, and there were plenty to choose from to bring you and show you. As you're saying, actually that 2 minutes out, sometimes it's great as a coach to just be able to pull a player out. Probably not in those circumstances, but she's come back, to credit to her, and has actually changed her style of play. She's coming round off the body a little bit more. Her and Lynch are so quick-footed in there. Actually, that might, as you say, prove a difference and make it more difficult for the Isle of Man.
Yeah, it's a gamble for the coaches though, as well, isn't it? Because if you leave her on, all she's got to do is miss time, one intercept, and she's off again. So I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. She doesn't look like she's coming off. She's got a lot of people around her. Her netball fam obviously giving her a bit of support on her team. She's hiding behind a towel at the moment, so I think this has been a bit of an emotional upheaval for her. But like you say, you know, when you've travelled a long way, you're quite young, you're not used to international netball, it's emotional as well. You know, tears are shed for less than that, so it's whether they can keep their heads in and play through it.
And sometimes those key moments in your international career are the things that really make a player. So she's now been through a situation, probably the first time she's played international netball, third game of her career, been through the caution warning, headed to the bench for 2 minutes. You've got a kind of a split moment to decide, am I going to pull my socks up and get out there, or am I going to let this affect me mentally? And credit to her, she's done the former. She's come out showing that she means business.
Yeah, just I hope for her sake now that she can pull out the rest of the quarter. But I mean, taking that aside, there's also a lot more going on in that quarter. There was a lot of fantastic play, much better centre passes from the Isle of Man. I think they were a lot more patient, getting the ball through, much better feeds, better timing into that circle, better movement. You know, we weren't forcing it, they were losing the players, taking them somewhere first and then go in. And for the Cayman Islands as well, Rose Wilson was absolutely paramount in that, in using her freedom per se, because of the fact that there was that double to come out, take the ball and use it sensibly. There were less forced balls in and they were playing a lot cleverer, and so it's literally going to be who blinks first in this next quarter.
Well, as you can see, the umpires are up, so they'll be restarting this game. Neither of us are wanting to put our money on who's going to win this one now, are we, at this moment in time?
No, I still can't call it.
I think it's going to go down to the wire.
Yeah, I think Isle of Man will be disappointed if they lose it now, because they've done well to stick with this 4-goal lead. And the pressure is on the Cayman Islands to try and pull it back, but I think they can still pull it back, just don't know. There are changes for the Isle of Man.
Yeah, they've made one change. Hempshaw has come on at goalkeeper instead of Keeling, so we've seen Hempshaw there previously, effective at the back, so possibly just changing it up with the effectiveness of Copeland and Wilson there.
And I wonder whether they've done that to allow a bit more man-on-man play. They've seen the fact that Rose Wilson has obviously been a bit more versatile in playing that ball through, because they've done the double. Maybe they put Becky back to make it more of a one-on-one and get Viv Storner. And Viv Storner was holding back a little bit, but maybe looking for the flies. We'll see.
Nice and patient there.
She did well to pull out that.
She did. Timing was brilliant. So 38-34, still 4 in it. Cayman Islands are going to want to get this off their centre pass. Great hands by Copeland there.
And again, a beautiful pass in by Catherine Gow. Her placement's really good. She's well aware of where the defenders are.
Oh, you can see that pressure on every single ball.
Well, it was lucky it came off Cayman Island foot.
So can Gale keep the gap to 4? Ashley Hoare, the captain, can. 4 in it. I don't know what's worse, playing when it's close or trying to commentate on it.
I know, I can hear myself going, It's just every ball, you're sort of playing it with them, aren't you?
You are indeed.
Oh, great intercept. Unlucky to come out with that, Rachel Johnson. Very well read. She is fighting for that ball.
So nice play by Cayman Islands. They have got the ability to change the pace up in the game. That's a lovely ball into Wilson.
Oh, she nearly got that rebound.
So back to 3. Isle of Man centre pass.
Just need to get 2 hands on this ball, and Isle of Man just need to be a bit more savvy again. Just go back to that change of direction. Lose your player first.
Well, picked up.
They're the ones you can see Nikisha sort of holding back on as well, that rebound, but they come out with the ball.
They have, so good defence by Cayman Islands.
Isle of Man are going to have to put pressure on now. They won't want them to convert this through.
So if they do, it's down to 2 in their centre pass.
Yeah, so I'd imagine they'll be hunting hard now. You've got to give everything you can in this quarter. 15 minutes of really hard work.
Great play by Isle of Man. Uncharacteristic for Gail to throw one like that. Maybe she's feeling the pressure a bit.
Yeah. And she's holding her hand up. She's sorry about that.
Well, she's done a lot of brilliant things, not only this game, but the rest of the tournament. So
good pressure there from Lydia Shaw.
So is this the moment when the pressure becomes the deciding factor?
Good swing. Oh, 2 hands. Just a bit of discipline needed. Yeah. Good hand in there by Tishelle Logan. Clever.
Another Connie Francis row. You remember Connie Francis from Jamaica? There'll be many listeners out there who do, I hope. Great goal attack. Did those all the time.
Well, it's certainly paying dividends here. Nice drive through the middle to open up that by Chloe Gale. Oh, textbook. They've got to run. The thing is now she's a bit nervous, isn't she, of coming through on that, but she's going to have to run the open side and take her feet on that to try and get the intercept. Still, they come out with the ball.
Yeah, Cayman Islands 5 behind. 10 minutes to go, so everything to play for, but Hall playing a fantastic captain role.
There's only one mover in that Cayman Islands attack as that ball's coming through. That makes it really obvious.
Great play. That was all from Nikisha Lewis as well.
Yeah, good job. Good width there by Catherine Gow. Someone's got to move. Yeah, unlucky Becky Hamsell. You had all of the Cayman Islands players there just stood still. You have to keep working. You can't give up at this stage.
No, not with just 5 goals in it. 9:40 on the clock.
The Isle of Man will punish them if they stand still to catch the ball.
I don't think Copeland's hardly missed anything for the 4 games she's played so far.
It'd be interesting, wouldn't it, to see her stats?
Oh, well, Gal will be disappointed with herself on that.
Good use of the width there by the Isle of Man.
Now, can they look after the ball?
Nice bounce. Yeah, clever decision by Nikki Lynch to make a shoot. Oh, good hands.
So quick, isn't it? You think the space is there, but it absolutely isn't. Not against these 2 players. Oh.
Pressure is on.
You can sense it, can't you? They're hoping for it to drop. It hasn't done. 4 in it. 8.5 left.
Now we need more than 1 mover. Come on, at least 2 offers. Preferably 3, but 2 will do. See, stood still.
Yeah, they're not quite sure how to play against that defence from the Isle of Man.
And in fairness to the Isle of Man, that's everyone working. Great
and that's exactly what they wanted them to do.
Yeah, good job, Becky Hamsell. Uh-oh.
I don't think that was deliberate.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, that's unfortunate, because I genuinely think that was just a mistimed
That is unfortunate. I really feel for her now. Really feel for her. Because that's it now, isn't it? That's 6 players.
So she's off the bench.
I do believe she has to leave the court now. Is that correct? No?
Yeah.
She just can't take any further part in the game. So they're now playing with 6 for the rest of the game. 8 minutes and no goalkeeper. You want to change your wing defence now.
I was going to say the bench needs to make a change. They can put Logan back.
I'm not 100% sure that they know this.
It doesn't look like they do they? Oh, great rebound.
Can they change? They can change someone in, can't they? To the goal defence position? To the goalkeeper position? One to check. I'm doubting myself now.
So 42 playing 37. There's still only 5 in it. It's going to be a tough ask for the Cayman Islands, but they're not giving up.
And you know what? There is still hope, without sounding like an optimist, because I like to be a realist. You still have really good shooting power.
Yeah.
So
and Copeland's proving it there.
Yeah, as long as they look after their centre pass, they could turn it early on. They could turn it on first phase. They could have a really good hunt in from Nikki Lynch at the back. There is still the chance that they could do it.
That's great pressure again by Lydia Shaw. Oh, they're not stinking the balls now. Court does though. 43-38. It's interesting, none of their players are warm. They've just been watching the game.
And I think this is tricky because I think they're going to try and move her from wing defence to goal defence, and I don't think they realise that she has to actually come off.
If she's injured, she does.
Yeah.
And the umpire's saying that.
She can't go straight back on as goal keeper, so unfortunately she'll have to, that's the 30 seconds.
So now they've got no players on the court at all.
It's sad, isn't it? It's a bit of a disappointing end to what has been a fantastic competition. But as you said, it's also fantastic learning.
So Logan's back on at wing defence.
So maybe they can't put her at goal defence.
No.
At goalkeeper, sorry.
44-38. 66 minutes left.
And fair play to Isle of Man as well. Still working really hard to turn this ball. Not just comfortable with what they've got.
Great rebound by Copeland there.
Shot. Great shot.
You know, this game was so competitive. Actually, it would have been great to see it play out with all 14 players on the court.
Yeah. But like you say, again, really good learning. And I'm sure they'll come back from it even more fired up tomorrow. Could still turn it around. It's unlikely. Could still happen.
So 45 now, 39. Just over 5 minutes to go. And of course, Cayman Islands have got another 2 games. One tomorrow on Saturday and another one on Sunday. So there's still all to play for this event.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they will come back stronger because I think, like you say, it's great learning. Something like this can really fire your team up to come together. You kind of close ranks a little bit, don't you? And look after your own. See, like Catherine Gow, come on, let's go, shouting to the rest of the team, really trying to G everyone up. Very clinical play there from
great shot by Hall. 6 goals in it, 5 minutes. It is still not beyond the reach of Cayman Islands at this stage in this match.
It's not at all.
We know it's a big ask.
Hasn't Becky Hansel come on well?
She has.
It's a tough ask to come on in the fourth quarter in a game that's so competitive and so close, but she's done a great job, come out with some great turnover. Nice ball. Well held, Rose Wilson.
So 5 in it. We're going to try and take advantage of the space on the court.
Yeah, so Nikki Lynch now is going to have to come off and hunt. If she sits sort of near the top of the circle, she can go and hunt on those balls to the goal, to the wing attack. She's She's not going to win balls sat back on the goal shooter.
This is probably, though, all new territory for them all, isn't it? At the end of the day, I don't think they would have been in this situation before.
No, but we like to think that, you know, we're games players and we can adapt and think on the court, and so that's what it's going to take.
Oh, great in there. Lynch giving it everything. So, 48 now plays 41.
Bit of frustration there creeping in for Gao.
Yeah.
She needs to keep her head. It's really important they keep their heads now.
So we've got Lynch now on a warning. Options
no one left in the
are
circle,
running out a little bit for Cayman Islands in this game.
Yeah, good take. Oh, well read, Becky Hansel.
Brilliant.
And she let the release as well to take that and then be off balance and then release such an accurate pass. Beautiful. Really good point.
With a goal difference now of 9, 3 minutes left. Are you going to have a punt now, Nat?
Yeah, I think the Isle of Man might take it.
So, in a way, I'm sure the home crowd will really enjoy the fact there's been a victory, but perhaps not necessarily in the circumstances. It was such a competitively close game. Both teams are playing really well. It's just unfortunate, a little bit of perhaps lack of body control on all the movements.
Ooh, penalty not set. Yeah, but you know what, the Isle of Man did have the lead before all this happened, so it's nice that it wasn't a case of they were behind and it was competitive and they were trying to fight back. They did have the lead, and in fairness to them, they were maintaining that lead as well. So it's not been gifted to them. They've worked really hard to put themselves in that position and to put the pressure on the defence, which, you know, essentially has helped cause those errors and therefore the resulting sending off. So the speed of Gale and Hall in that circle has been really difficult for them. So they've done a good job to get themselves in this position. It's definitely not been a gifted game.
Definitely not.
Oh, great.
I don't think
challenge.
they'll feel that either at the end of the game. They fought for this game.
Yeah, they'll feel tired after it. They've worked really hard.
And of course, we know the Cayman Islands are back here first thing tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock against the UK Armed Forces. That's going to be another super competitive match tomorrow morning. Possibly some tired legs out there.
Yeah, I think it will be a super competitive match, and I do think that the Cayman Islands will come back with a vengeance. And then obviously the Isle of Man are playing Emirates as well at 11. So it'll be good to see how they recover.
Good take.
Oh, great vision.
What a fabulous ball into Wilson by Herreras.
And Kay Copeland had set up that screen for that to happen. That vision was immense. Good job. Yeah, good effort, Nikki Lynch. She's doing what she can.
55-43. We're into the last 40 seconds. That's another lovely ball into Copeland.
Yeah, put in on defender side, beautifully weighted. Still some really good passages of play from both sides.
Nice drive into the circle by Hall.
Yeah, Tashelle Logan working really hard to try and keep Hall out, but there's only so long you can do that for.
Well done to Nikki Lynch.
10 seconds left. Good umpiring by Chris Obin to hold time on that. Caution given to...
I think Gao is down. She's possibly recognises the time.
She's also limping off.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's okay. Yeah, quite rightly the crowd giving her a big round of applause for that. You know what else was nice though? This crowd gave Nakisha Lewis a round of applause as well.
Absolutely. So with that last second goal, we see the match here between the Isle of Man and Cayman Islands finishing 56-44. It's been a match that's been incredibly eventful, huge amount of skill, lots of spills, and Isle of Man have emerged the winners.
Yeah, wow, an amazing game, and amazing from both sides. Great fight from both sides. You can't take anything away from them. Bit of a disappointment in the middle, but yeah, well earned, Isle of Man. They worked hard for that.
Absolutely. Still nice to see all the players coming together as you'd expect at the end of a really competitive match here. Highlights of the game for you, Nat?
Oh, there's been so many. And look, see, this is really nice as well. I know we're talking about the game, but you know what? She's welcomed in by the goal shooter as well. And she's come in to be part of that when she's probably in a really emotional position. So really, that's great sportsmanship. Really well done.
And credit to her, she stayed in the hall here. Keisha Lewis, she hasn't gone anywhere. She was big enough to come back. And here we go. So at the end of this rather exhausting day of netball, and all we've done is sit here and talk about it, let me tell you how the day has played out. So at 9 o'clock this morning, we see Ireland took on Israel and won 64-24. Emirates played Cayman Islands, and that was a Cayman Islands victory, 52-34. Isle of Man then played UK Armed Forces, and that was a win for the latter team, 40-33. Gibraltar had an outstanding game against Israel, 78-24, and then Republic of Ireland took on Emirates, 42-23. And of course, we've just seen this amazing game here tonight with the Isle of Man, the home team and hosts, taking the win against Cayman Islands by 56-44. So, Nats, we're going to do it all over again tomorrow. Only 5 games tomorrow. We'll feel cheated, won't we?
Oh, I know. I can't wait. It's just every game has been amazing. It's been some amazing display, and it's exciting times.
Well, thank you for being with us today. Now, we'll of course see you back here at the National Sports Centre tomorrow. My thanks go, as always, to Netball Europe and our host, Isle of Man, to our partners, QTV Sports, who've brought this wonderful live stream to you all, to all the volunteers here and around the region for all you do for our sport. Have a great evening, and we look forward to seeing you back here 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Thank you and good evening.